It's the famous Suzuki 9507 Hummingbird, the one that the lawsuit was all about. And it's a beautiful guitar with a little hiccup of a problem. The neck, as you can see, has snapped off and there's little cracks there. It also has a few unusual screws there. But this guitar, if it was a Gibson Hummingbird, $5,000. A Suzuki Hummingbird, still worth between £400 and £500. You can pick them up for $250. But this one here, I think that we're going to have to do a little bit of work. But it has a couple of things going for it. The bridge is good and solid. No movement there. The neck, as you see, the wood will sit on nicely there. And because it's ridged, it'll sort of slide in. And the good thing about it being ridged, which you can see there, it increases the surface. That gives you about 10% more surface, because instead of a flat, when you flatten that out and put the glue on, it makes a bigger surface. But it also has this, which will go down in there. So the way I'm going to try, first of all, is I'm going to try gluing it on with nothing else. What I'm going to do is put dilute, maybe a dilute layer of a tight bond on that and let it soak in for a while. And then when I'm ready to glue this guitar, when I'm ready to glue this neck on, I'm going to use epoxy resin down in there, and then lather it with real tight bond there. So the epoxy will go down the sides of that and make a tight fit. And the tight bond will go up against that and that and that and make a good fit. Now, why I'm not putting any bolts or anything on is because it's a good tight fit. And as I say, those ridges in the wood will give it an extra bit of surface. And if it all goes pear-shaped, then I might be tempted to put a bolt in through the neck, or a bolt in through there, or a bolt in up from the bottom. But let's see what the glue does first. Okay, this has got a little bit more complicated. Not tremendously complicated, but a little bit. When I looked more closely at this piece of neck, I discovered that it's loose. If you see there, it's lifting up. So I'm going to have to put glue underneath there at the same time as putting glue everywhere else to get this back together again. And I'm trying to use, I'm just looking at my screen, I've got a new setup now, and I'm trying to use the automatic focus again, so let's hope everything goes all right. So what I'm going to do now is a test of clamping to see how the clamping will go. I think I might only get a chance at one clamp on this because of the position where the clamp has to go. Let me pull that a bit. Right, okay. So this is just a rehearsal. So when I put that in there, I'm going to have a clamp just going across there. And that clamp's too short. So it's going to be too short, that clamp. Yeah, okay. So it's going to have to be a bigger clamp, but I think it is going to hold it okay. Alright, that's them to me. I've been in my drawers and found my clamps. Would much prefer that clamp, but it's just, by the time I screwed it down there, it wouldn't be fitting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the glue. I'm going to do the glue. Why have I only got a little bit of tight bond? I need to order some more. There's enough for this job, but I like to keep this around because it's quite important to everything I do. So, some of you were shouting, why didn't you have this all set up before you switched on the camera? Well, this is real life. So I'm going to put a drop of water. As I said previously, I'm going to put a weaker dilute. I'm going to dilute that. Yeah, I'm going to dilute that and paste that on and let that sink into the wood to give me bite. Right, okay. Bite, 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 bite. I'm going to let that sit. And I'm going to do the same with this. Bite, 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 bite. There's no loose pieces of wood on this. Right. No loose pieces. So I'm just letting this soak in a bit, and that'll give me just a little bit more bite, or when I put the thicker stuff on. And I'm going to slather this. I'm going to slather this with Titebond. I'm going to have to make up some epoxy. Oh yeah, don't fight me, fight me. Ah, that's it. Oh, it stinks. I think I said that before. It stinks, doesn't it? Alright, that's it there. It smells like pee. I did say that before. I'm repeating myself. Hate people that repeat themselves. Yeah, well, okay. At my age, I shouldn't hate anybody who repeats themselves, because I can't tend to do it all the time. Although, when I'm talking to myself only. Right, so mix this up well. Okay. Oh, God, that's rank. I've used epoxy before, but never something as stinky as that. The awkward piece is going to be pushing it together and clamping it. So I'm going to let that sit for a second. What do I want to do? Which clamp is a good clamp? Yeah, that's a good clamp, so I'll try using that. Remind me I need a new set of clamps. Okay. So the theory is put the epoxy here, not all over the guitar, idiot. Put the epoxy here. And here underneath. And a little bit there because it's not as tight to the, so, right, and the epoxy here and here and a little bit there, but I don't think it's going to touch that side of the wood. So this is sort of maybe an unnecessary step because the Titebond might hold it. So set that to the side. Now we're going to slather this with, and I am using too much, I know I am, but I'm deliberately using too much. And put it underneath that slither that's loose. Right. Let me see. Oh, it's going in there anyway. Right, okay. I was trying to lift it up, but it's already there. Right, okay, and there. Put it on there. I may have to do this again and put a bolt in the neck, and I might, even after it's glued, when it's put together, I might even turn around and say, right, I'm going to put a bolt in the neck anyway, after it's all done. So let me just move this round, get you closed. I've got time to work with it. I've got time to work with it, so I'm not going to get excited. Right, okay, there. Oh, right, let it fall off. I don't mind deliberately letting it fall off, because there's something I would like to do before. Oh no, I don't need to do it, not in this instance. Right, I was going to look for rubber padding, but I don't need to do that in this instance. So why are you not going in as far as what I... Oh, that's it now. Yes, right, okay. Okay. I'm making a mess of this. I'm fighting with this. I knew I would be. This is what I'm fighting with. Why am I fighting with it? Slowly. You've got time, Austin. Don't go crazy. That's it. Let's try doing this. Glue everywhere, but that's to be expected. Now, oh, that's pretty good. Let's just look. That actually is pretty good. Let me just tighten it. Excellent. Believe it or not, that all just came together very quickly. Now, once I've cleaned this up, which I'm going to do more now of, throw out all that glue, I don't need it anymore. And those tissues. That actually did better than I thought, because I can feel it. I'll use the other camera to get you close up to it, because when I move this I'm going to keep it really steady. Just going to look at one thing now to make sure. Yep, that's fine. Neck is just about where it should be. Now, I'm a bit afraid to move it. Let me just see. Can you see there? That's pretty good, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it maybe... No, I know what I'll do. I'm going to move it into the drying room, which is my back bedroom, and let it sit for 2 days. At least 2 days. And then I'll look at it, study it, and think about it, and see if I really want to put a bolt down through there. Won't do any harm, but I don't know whether I need to do it, because it might not need to be done. The question in my mind is, why did it snap in the first place? Was it given a real dunt? Anyway, I'll come back to you whenever I've got this ready. Alright? Now, it's been a week, I think, or more since it's been glued, because I've been very, very busy. Since I last spoke to you, I put some tape on it just to give it that little bit of a squeeze, a bit more squeeze. And now I'm taking off the... So if the neck falls in two, you'll know the glue didn't hold. So I'll put them out of sight, out of mind, and we'll have a look at the neck. Let's just get around there. Now, let's just see if I can get you to a place where you'll be able to... There it is there, right. And that's very tight, very neat. Now, will it hold? Will it hold? Let me just check the neck straightness. Yeah, it's not bad. I would like a little bit more room there, but choosers can't be beggars. Well, let's try it with strings and see, and then I'll clean up this. Unfortunately, they use some packing tape, but you know that already, so I'm going to put some strings on. I'm going to use 9s, Ernie Ball, super slinky. I don't have any, it doesn't say whether these are acoustic or electric. They're factory fresh, my left testicle. Right, okay. Let's, oh, right, maybe. Like that. I suggest we break both of them off and just set them in. No, that's not going to work either. Ah, right, that'll work. We'll put them in. We can do that. We can just put them in like that. And because they've no screws, nothing to screw into, they'll go sit right down flat. And it'll look okay, and they won't move anywhere, but they won't do anything either. Okay, let's stick a few strings in. Georgie girl, do you want cuddles? Is that what you're asking me for? What is it? Oh, she wants cuddles. Sorry guys and gals, when Georgie calls, Georgie gets cuddles. Don't you? Is it raining outside? Because your feet feel wet. Now I'm going to have to wash my hands. Say goodbye to people. Look up the camera. Right, okay, camera's going off. Well, that didn't last long. She didn't want much in the way of cuddles. But Georgie girl gets what she wants. You probably know that by now. Right, okay. Sure. That's the strings all just a bit too high and the strings on, and I haven't heard any cracking or noises. So we'll leave that and see what it's like. Well, it's been 4 days since I strung it, and there's no movement in the neck at all. And as you can see, there's some tidying up to be done, and I'm going to do that now and then get the guitar into tune. And I see Georgie girls wandering around. Haven't decided. There's very little gap there. You know, it's almost like a. Well, it's not perfect, but it's almost like it was made to be put back together that way. So colouring it, we'll have to see what I can do about colouring it, which is probably going to be a difficult job to completely hide. There's a feel of roughness there, but it's nothing. It's just the little thickness of a layer of paint that you can feel. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Ain't it good? I'll probably turn the camera on and let you see the other side being done. Okay, there's not a lot to see in this now. So what I'm going to do, because there's no point in having big long videos about boring subjects which you've all seen before. So what I'm going to do is clean this up, and then I'll put something on there. I'll let you see that aspect. Trying to do the hiding of the crack, and then I'll speed up very much so the cleaning of the frets and strings and all that, because you've seen all that before. and then I'll take you straight to playing a little tune on it just to let you hear the sound of it, because it does seem like it's going to stay. I can't say I'm overly worried if it doesn't stay, because we'll just have to figure out something else, but I do have a 90-degree confidence level that it's going to stick. So I think this has been sitting for a year waiting to get repaired somewhere else. The chappie was very, very busy, so they brought it to me, but I'm glad he did, because I like to do little things like this, especially when they're successful like this. I'm going to experiment with a couple of things before I do anything with that, so I'll come back to you. Well, that seems to have done a lovely job. I'm actually quite pleased with it. That little white dot you see is not a little white dot. Let me just hold my hand over the light. It's just a reflection of the light. But that looks pretty good. What I will do when I've done the other stuff is I'll just put a little touch of hard gloss in there just to stop that from fading. And I think that'll look well. But that has turned out very well, I think, for a broken neck. You can see the, let me just see, you can see what I'm talking about there. You can see the little roughness. Well, I'll put, but it doesn't affect the playing, because, let me just pull out here. Whenever you're playing it, even way down there, if you're playing it way down there, you can't feel anything. But I just would like to put a little bit of gloss on that when it's finished. Now what I'm going to do is turn this around and clean the front, and then work on other things. I don't know if there's anything exciting on the other side to show you, but we'll soon find out. I don't think there's anything here that's going to be what you call stuff to keep you glued to your screen. So, oh, there's somebody wanting me. I'm trying to help someone who lives in Malta get their internet connected, so I'll be back. Now, somebody put packing tape on it, and you can see it there, and I've already done a test, and you can take it off with ordinary white spirit. I'm going to set the white spirit there because it's got a little natural place to hold it, and I'm going to use lots of these cotton buds. I haven't done it, I can't remember if I've done a test on the actual pattern, but let's just see what happens whenever I do. Yeah, the bridge is too low. Which is a good thing. Which is a very good thing. If it was too high, it's harder to fix. Being too low is not a huge issue to fix. It's a nuisance. I don't want to take these strings off because they're 9s and they're very prone to losing the E string on a 9s because it's fragile. So what I'm going to try to do is lift this up whilst it's got strings in it. And anyway, this needs to be cleaned thoroughly, this whole back bridge, because it's got sticky stuff on it as well. You can nearly put the pegs in that white spirit. Right, okay, are you going to come out? You can see it's been dug in quite a bit. the strings, but it's still strong, so I didn't do anything with it. Alright, okay, let's just see if we can get the bridge out without taking the strings out of the thing. Right, we can. Now, if we had this working with the proper tools, it wouldn't be a matter of turning that and bringing it up, but those are broken and missing, so I'm going to have to use a shim, which is less. Do I have one of them? I don't think I do. No, I don't have one of them. So I'm going to have to look for a shim. One of my favorite shimmies is this very firm metal, which I might try to use, but I don't know how much I need to raise it, so I'll do some investigation and come back again. I should not have doubted myself. I actually have a couple of spare of these, but there's that many of them that I lose track of them. That's the original one, right? The difference is that this one goes on that way and it adjusts up and down with the screw, right? This one doesn't. It presses down on the bottom and adjusts it that way. So what I've done, as you can see, I put in the holders, but they have little holes in them. So if I put that in there, the screw will go into the hole and it won't work up and down. So what I'm going to do, finagling best, I'm just going to stick a little black screw in there. I don't know whether you can see it. It's just a little black screw sitting there. And it fills up the hole. I'll show you closer whenever I get to it. It just fills up the hole, and it means that that will sit on the black screw. Can you see that black screw in there? Yes, you can. You can see the black screws just sitting there. And then when that goes in there, and it's right up to the maximum height, hopefully that'll give me enough to... it certainly looks like it's given me a lot more. It won't be screwing down, but it'll be sitting there. And I think I might get away with that. So I've already ordered 2 of these, but they'll do for someone else. Oh, where's Georgie girl? She can hear these strings. Oh, she's actually sleeping above me. She's got a bed above me on a shelf that's just well above my head height, which cats love to be high. And I've actually bought her 2 window shelves. You'll see them someday on their shelves. I was not tempted until I only wanted to try it, but discovered that these are actually German quality make, and they won't slide off the window. I was afraid of them, the suckers sliding off the window, but these German ones are very good quality, and they bounce up and down on these shelves, and they sleep on them, and they can sit and look out the window without obstruction, and they're up high as well. So, but they love them. So if you ever see them, let me just point you at them to let you see them. There we go. There, as I'm talking about. Come on, loosen. Right, okay, where is it? Where are you? Over there. Right, okay. It's behind the microphone. Can you see the shelf there? She sits on that. She's actually, where are you? She's up there sleeping well above the curtains. You can see this is a house for me, not for anybody else. And there's somebody else who wants me. For goodness sake. What is wrong today? So I'll pause this and come back to you once I find out who's chasing me. Oh, come on, settle down. Why are you... Sorry. Right, okay. So that's it. And there's just an E string to put back on it. And then I'll tidy it up. Hopefully that's too high all around, but I'll soon know in a few seconds. Oh, I've got that the wrong way around. Just turn it that way. And upside down. That's the way I want it, yeah. That leaves me free to clean this. Oh, and there's pretty dung there, and the frets need a bit of a twirl and a twitch and a twassy, whatever that is. So what I'll do first of all is they're going to need scraped. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pause. I'm hungry. I need a cup of tea, and then I'll clean all that, but I'll do it all high speed so you can just see it going. I'll not say anything super intelligent that you'll lose in translation. Right, scrapety, scrapety, scrape, high speed, polish, high speed, check, frets, high speed, get the strings back on again, tune up the strings, high speed, and then I'll come back to you when it's all done. And fill your head full of wonderment with words of wisdom. Right, now I'm going to tune it now that it's all nice and clean up and tidy. And before I tune it, just to say, I'm beginning to doubt that this is a Suzuki. I had done some research on the internet, and this could be a copy of a Japanese Suzuki, but I can't be 100% sure because the bridge, the saddle and bridge is wrong. There's no writing on the headstock, and there's no indication that it ever had any writing on the headstock. And usually Suzuki guitars made in Japan had a circular round thing on their headstock that said Suzuki & Co. So this could be. There also is a little bit of, you see the white showing through there. I'm not mistaken, the Japanese Suzukis were really fussy on their manufacturing capabilities and things like that there. And the gold down there is still in perfect condition, but Suzuki used a sort of a real gold, and this is sort of like a painted gold. I don't mean a real gold, but a gold leaf type thing. So I'm not quite convinced this is no Suzuki. And the tuners could be replaced, but the tuners seem to be not in keeping with what Suzuki used. The screws have been replaced with brass ones, ugly looking things, but don't know what I'm going to do about them yet. And the tuners are not good quality either, because you can just feel them. They're sort of feel loose, and there's no adjustments on it to tighten them up a bit. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm weak. Anyway, tuning, speed it up, gone, and then I'll come back to you when it's all tuned up and speed it up. Okay, I'm paused now. It's a lovely sound. No, nothing I can do about nothing I can do about the tuners. Best thing to do would be to replace them. Okay, let's finish just tidying it up a bit, and I'll give you a little tune on it. I think it's going to go back to its mummy and daddy as soon as I've finished cleaning it up. So I'll stop there. All right. She's actually looking very nice. Still not for sure she's a Suzuki, but she's all looking nice and shiny and working well. And let me just check the tuning. So she's sounding lovely. That's the, what do you call him? The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's a lovely run. B minor E, A minor E. That's a really nice sounding guitar. I like it. Lovely mellow tone to it, and that neck I think is going to hold forever if he doesn't smash it. What I would do to this guitar, I'd replace the tuners, right? I'd get a brand new one of those down there, metal adjustable saddles. I'd replace the pegs, and there's very little, oh well, yes, there's very little else I'll do with that, but it sounds really nice. Just check the tuning now again. Now I think she's playable up to there. That was me. Oh, maybe it's not. A little bit low. Anyway, I'll give it I'll raise it a touch, but it's going home. Bye bye, guitar. Ah.